Hello, everybody. Hello from Guatemala. I'm so excited to invite you all to our first of our talk series, Real Talk. And today we're going to speak with Daniel, and hopefully he can join us. Oh, hey, Jamie. Just waiting for a few other people to come on. Some technical difficulties on this end. Chickens in the background. Everybody, welcome. Hello from Guatemala. So I'm going to move this here. I'm so excited to invite you all to our first of our talk series, Real Talk. And today we're going to speak with. Okay, perfect. There you are. Hopefully he can to be able to talk with you today. Just waiting for you to join. There you are. Hi,
Daniel. Hello. Hi. Good evening.
I can't hear you. Hi, Mariska. Welcome.
Now, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Ooh, Daniel, I cannot hear you. Let's see. Let me try. Sorry, one second.
Okay. Can you now?
It might be my phone. I'm technologically a bit challenged. Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
There
you go. Hi.
Yep. So can you hear me now?
Welcome. How are you doing today? It's my first time actually speaking to you.
What did you say?
It's my first time actually speaking to you in video. Nice to see you.
Yeah, same here too. It's actually my first time to be on live Instagram. Woohoo!
Okay. Well, I am so excited to share. Ooh, can you hear that echo in the background?
Okay.
All right. This is my first time doing a live stream into medias, so I might have to move.
Okay.
1 second. I'm going to move.
Yep.
In the background of the video. Okay.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay, so our topic for today is to see how, well, in general, how Nigeria and your dance program has been impacted by the current pandemic, and if there has been any impact. And also to just share with the world a little bit more about your organization, your dance program, and how it started. So I'll introduce myself first, and then I can kind of send it over to you. So my name is
Okay.
I first came to Guatemala for my graduate school thesis, and then God changed things around, and now I have a dance organization here with 120 students, and 50% of those students are paying, and then the other 50% are on scholarship from orphanages or situations of very low income or poverty. And we work with them, well, I work with them on their homework as well to make sure that they keep their grades up as they continue to come to dance class. And then we also have activities during the year. And yeah, so I teach in 4 towns around the lake here in Guatemala at Lake Atitlan. About me,
How
why don't
interesting.
you share about you?
So my name is Daniel Owoseni Ajala. That's actually Nigerian. So I'm from Lagos State, Nigeria. So basically, what I do is I teach dance, and I'm so excited to actually have Leap of Dance Academy as the creative director of the academy. Originally, we started up with about 30 students, but now we're about 12 because of consistency and interest. And it's been such a beautiful time to actually have all the students here. We're currently like 12 students in our academy, and it's actually beautiful. It's a very lovely one. They love to dance. They really love to dance. It's such a good thing to teach them, you know. Yes, and in this part of Africa, you know, it's a great one. Thank you.
Yeah. So how did you first start your dance program? And I know that one thing that's very unique about your dance program is that you don't charge the students. So can you tell me a little bit
Yes.
more about that?
Okay, thank you very much for asking that question. Like Lipo Dance Academy, it was something I just wanted to do for fun initially, but it later became something that I want to do for an impact because I discovered that majority of students or people in our area where I live don't have anything about dance education at all. So it was an opportunity for me to just give them that part of the story. Like I was able to learn dance a bit via online or something, but being able to just give out to them and share what I know about dance to them is just so surreal. Like what inspired me to actually open Lipo Dance Academy is the fact that I want to grow and to learn something different with God factor as the most priority. So I opened Lipo Dance Academy with the mindset of actually helping students who can't afford dance education. Obviously, in the part of Africa where I live, we obviously cannot afford dance education because tights are expensive, shoes are expensive. So majority of the people around where I live can't afford dance education. So why not just give back? So that's what actually started Lipo Dance Academy. Yep.
Yeah, and actually that is something that is very common around the world. Ballet and those types of dances are extremely expensive, and it's very exclusive to people who are of middle or upper income levels unless it's a scholarship program. Because as you said, um, the ballet shoes are expensive. Point shoes are outrageously expensive. If you think about point shoes, here in Guatemala, one pair of point shoes is more than the income of one
Oh my
person in a
gosh.
month in the area where I live. And point shoes in this country cost 100 US dollars, and that is pretty much what an average person might make here for a month. So what does it look like there in Nigeria?
Well, if you're going to ask if it's going to be expensive in Guatemala, then it's not something I could talk about in Nigeria because it's way too expensive. That's like that's like someone's entire money. Like you know, pointers are very expensive, and you as a dancer, you need to like change them maybe 2 or 3 times or so. And imagine, I remember when we had our first pair of point shoe, we used that shoe for 5 years, just one pair of shoes. No, no, that's very serious because we couldn't actually afford any other one. So the one we had, we cherished it for years. So we tend not to use it too much so that it doesn't wear out. So sometimes the students just have to use their foot, just normal practice. Then occasionally when we want to go for performances, we use that a day before the performance and on the day of the performance. So it's expensive. We can't even afford it. So we don't even talk about the expenses. It's actually very much. Yeah.
And it's actually very interesting for us to share with all the viewers that we met through an organization that supports organizations like yours and mine that's called Traveling
Exactly.
Tutus. And they not
Yeah.
only send us dancewear, but they also share our pictures with other people. And those people actually might in some way come back and support us financially or with point shoe
Exactly.
donations or with
Exactly.
dance costumes. Because honestly, I completely understand my students. Before, they were paying $13 to have a costume be made here in country, and they couldn't
Wow.
afford it. I told parents were telling me, we can't afford costumes. It's really hard. I don't know if my daughter can participate because we don't have 13 US dollars for a costume made here.
Wow.
So that's when I started looking, and I found Hearts to Toes, that organization, and also Traveling Tutus, which then sent us
Wow.
costumes, tights, leotards, and the same with you, and that's how I found you. And without
Wow.
them, our children would be dancing, like the ones who could afford dancewear would wear it, but then all of our scholarship students would look like scholarship students. And as you just posted recently, I saw when everyone looks equal in the dance class, you can't tell what socioeconomic situation you come from. And so it really makes
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
dance class a safe place where everyone can feel equal and not be judged.
Very good.
I don't know if you want
I
to
love
speak
that.
to that a little bit.
I, something like on Facebook, like some maybe 3 days back or so, I was appreciating travel institutes for their continuous support. Like I started my academy in 2017. I started in September the 9th, 2017. So we had nothing, no shoe. My student, my oldest student, Olamide Olawale, had only one pair of leotard. I can't forget that in my entire life because it was really an emotional moment where I knew that it was like as if nothing was going to happen again. And it's such a blessing to be traveling to helping us and so many other organizations like amidst Dance Center in Michigan. So many of them actually helped us to make us feel better. Now, what I was posting about last time was about costume donation. You know, the beauty about costumes is that it makes everyone to be equal. Like, to make dance is a very, very safe place, like you said. It doesn't make you feel like, oh, I don't think my child is actually from the very rich home. This one is from the poor home. It just makes everybody to be like a family, you know. So when everybody is in a pink leotard, everyone is in a pink leotard. When everyone is in a black leotard, you're all in black leotard. So dance and the costume donation has helped everybody to be in the same social class. And that is actually about love and about family, which is the best part of everything. Yeah.
Yes, that's so
all help us cope all those parts. In fact, I know obviously because when we saw the price tag on each of the costumes, we knew we can't afford it. It was very true. Because some of the costumes that were sent to us, the price tags are on them. And when I look at the price tag and the conversion in Nigerian currency, oh my God, I know exactly it's actually way beyond. So, and the parents of students I have are from low income homes. Obviously, they cannot afford that. So it's such a blessing to see organizations help us to be able to do what we do. You know, it makes the work easier for us and it makes us to be able to reach out to more people. Because trust me, financially, a lot of us won't be able to be where we are, but God has blessed this organization to help us. And that's something we're going to be thankful for the rest of our lives for. Yeah, that's it.
So another question, because you don't charge any of your dance students to take dance
Not
class,
at all. Not at
you have
all.
to have secondary income. So how do you make money to live and feed yourself? Because I know that we've spoken before and you are personally buying food for these children because you know that they do come from situations in which they might not be eating much, or if they do eat, it might not even be something healthy, or it might be the same basic thing every day. So what do you do to sustain yourself when you have a program where no one is paying you?
Okay, thank you very much. Like Leap of Dance Academy wasn't actually open for the purpose of making profit. It's a non-profit making organization, meaning that we don't charge our students because we create opportunities for them to learn dance and, you know, get to use their talent to glorify God and being happy for themselves also. Now, the thing now about what I do is that how do I sustain myself? Now, I sustain myself by I actually have a job I do on a day job I do during the week. That's actually not paying so much, but then with the little income that comes from there, I was able to sustain my academy and also the myself as a person. So it's been a struggle, but then we're very hopeful, you know. And you know, sometimes when we get costumes from outside, like when all these our sponsors or partners send us costumes, we have to pay for those costumes at the airport here.
Oh, so, yes, the taxes. Yes, that's very expensive. Hundreds of dollars probably for the taxes.
Yeah, so we just try our best, and sometimes we just write to some of our friends who can actually help us out, because if it's way beyond what we can do, we just say, please can you just help us to do some of these things to make it easy for us. And some of them have been able to help us to get some costumes and help the kids. I know, so that's how we're able to sustain the academy and myself also, because personally there is no money, to be very realistic.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I completely understand. And I think it's really amazing that even in a situation where there's no one paying, it's your passion and you do it to volunteer and you're not doing it to make money. And I think that's really amazing. And knowing you personally, I think it's an example for me and also the way that I run things to remember that even when you're in situations where economically you don't know how you're going to do it, really to trust in God. And then the Lord will provide something that's from the bottom of your heart. And the point of it is to help these kids have something stable. And I want to talk a little bit more about the situation of your students, because I know some of your students come from such situations of poverty where they might not be going to school. But before we do that, we have a question here.
Yeah, I can see that too.
So, Jamie She was a volunteer with us who actually came down right before the lockdown happened, so she had to go back to the United States. She's a ballet
Wow.
teacher from Texas, and
Oh, that's
we
lovely.
have, yeah, we've been here in lockdown. We're going on to week 8, I believe, and we also have a
Wow.
curfew. So what that looks like for me and my students is that my students no longer come to classes, of course, because everything's shut down and there's social distancing. So the students have to take their dance classes online. Now, all of my students
Wow.
can't afford data, so I fundraise to purchase data for these families that can't afford data so that they can take classes online. And aside from that, here it looks like a lot of families, especially from low income, who are part of the informal economy, they no longer have sources of income, such as selling clothes on the streets to foreigners or washing clothes for other
That's
people because of social distancing. And so I'm also doing food distribution, which is only possible from
wow.
extra donations coming in from the United States. If I didn't
Wow.
have the
That's
connections with the United States, I would not be able to help support feed my families, my kids' families. So can you talk a little
wow.
bit more about in Nigeria? I know that well, talk about this actually. So in Nigeria, with the current situation, what does it look like for families that come from situations of poverty? Are they able to eat? One, and then two, what does your dance studio situation look like? Can you share a little bit about that?
First of all, I'm going to talk about what my dance studio looks like, right? That was your ask, right? My dance studio, we do not have a dance studio. Obviously, we don't have a dance studio. What we have is just a floor and a compound. You know, that's what we call it. We call it a compound here in Nigeria, like a little space with rough ground and everything. No mirrors, no safe space. But we are very passionate about what we do. But that doesn't mean that we will not be able to teach the right things, even if we don't have like a standard studio. But you know, like someone said that it is not the studio who makes a good student. It's actually the teacher. So if you have a good teacher, even if you're in the very
Yeah.
worst environment, you can always do very, very well. So we don't
Yeah.
have a studio, and
So
so
you're
but we
saying
were
you
just
have
trying.
no dance studio. Sorry, you're saying you have no dance studio with no dance floor and no bar, correct?
No,
I mean, no
we do have
mirrors
a
and things like that. You
we
just
do have a
dance
bar,
wherever
but
you can find.
yep, nothing at all. Just a space. We can actually put a vinyl floor on the ground, just for the kids not to get rough injuries on their foot. That's what we have. So basically, it's not like what's it called? It's not it's like a standard studio or something. It's just an open space where we can just train and get our kids to learn and all of that. Now, for kids in my academy, or rather, because my area is actually in Badagry area, and if you check the map on where Badagry is in Lagos, Nigeria, you know that it's actually far towards the end. It's a remote area, but then that doesn't mean that we'll not try our best. It's not really easy financially for parents around here because some children don't even go to school. I have kids in my academy who don't go to school because they can afford it. So if they can afford normal school, how are they able to afford dance education? So
Exactly.
it doesn't make any sense if you could say a child who can't afford normal school should pay for dance education. They're not like, what am I going to do with that? It's nothing. So what we do is to try and encourage the children to come, learn, and make it very okay for them to just take trainings and all of that, they don't pay for it. So it's just it's been hard, but we're trying our best. It's been hard, but we're trying our best
Yeah, so
financially.
you're saying that, oh, I'm sorry. To just reiterate that, you're saying that the students that you have, for the people who just came in, they come from situations of such low income that multiple of your students do not attend grade school. They don't attend school because they can't
That's
afford it, and the parents have to choose between school and eating. So why would they
exactly
ever spend money on dance education? Is that what you're saying?
exactly the point. Yes, that's it.
Okay,
Yep.
so
So
it wouldn't even be possible for your students, oh, I'm sorry, it wouldn't ever be possible for your students to pay because they're in such situations of poverty that they can't even afford
of
school.
course, yes. Yes, so that's it. If they can't even afford normal school, why would they be able to afford dance education? So that's the point.
Exactly.
So that's why we don't charge them for that. What we do is their commitment and their zeal to do that. They must have to love dance and want to stay committed to the program. Then obviously they get everything for free. Costumes, everything for free. And sometimes we give them food, we give them some of them, we give them money to just take care of themselves and all of that. And with some very good partners, they've been able to help us do some things like you have also done for us too. So that's actually a very way to help everyone out here. Okay.
Can you talk about, I'm sorry, I need to plug in my phone. I was just teaching right before this, and I was using my phone to teach.
Oh, okay.
So can you talk about how the current situation of Corona has impacted your students and your school? So what do classes look like? Has it negatively impacted your school? Because I know when I spoke with you, it's a very interesting perspective that I'm sure most others are not going through. And
I have
also, it might be something that other dance schools in Nigeria or other parts of the developing world might be able to also benefit from. So why don't you share a little bit about your experience with online classes and the opportunities that this pandemic has bittersweetly provided?
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to thank God Almighty, first of all, for helping us. You know, COVID-19 actually came in with so many like bad things, but to us, that's been a blessing. Now, why did I say that's been a blessing? We were able to get the likes of the artistic director of San Jose Dance Theater in California help us to do a live masterclass. That's a blessing. Obviously, I know that it might not be easy to get her at this time, but she was able to help us do that. And she's been helping us go on point work, helping us with normal classes, giving us tips and all of that. Now, and I want to thank Miss Kat also, that's Miss Linda Hoffman of San Jose, has done so well for us. I want to also thank Miss Mary. Miss Mary is a coordinator for amidst Dance Center in Michigan. She has been so amazing. Do you know what Miss Mary did? Miss Mary actually signed me up for an international class of acrobatic arts, where I'm going to be the first Nigerian to be registered as a certified acrobatic teacher. So that's actually a blessing.
Nice.
So you can see what she has just done for her. She has done so much, and it's a very, very big blessing, because if COVID, sometimes I just feel like maybe COVID-19 was a blessing in disguise, you know, because
I know it's hard to say that too, but it's very interesting because I remember you told me that, well, before this pandemic, your students didn't know how they were going to eat. So as far as that, they still don't know how they're going to eat. And you
yeah,
told me also electricity was never stable, and so still it's not very stable. But the one thing that has changed is they have opportunities to take higher level dance classes through the online, because so many people are trying to support in this time. So that's just
yeah,
incredible, and thank you for sharing that. It's bittersweet, right? It's something good
yeah,
that's coming up, something that's very
yes.
difficult for the whole
But
world.
so many live classes from Kat Wildish, also the professor of ballet, Lina Hoxman, so much, Miss Mary of MST. I'm just so thankful. Thank you so much for ballet here, because just I used to think that I would get up and their. Thank you, Miss Mary. Thank you, Miss Linda. Thank you very much. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you, Miss Christine. Thank you too. Thank you, because you've been so helpful too. I can't
Of
count how many
course.
times you've helped us. Thank you.
Of
God bless you
course.
so much. You've been such a blessing.
I'm not doing much, but the little I can support, I love to. So we have another question coming in from Jamie. Jamie, she's a ballet teacher in Texas, and she's a former volunteer with us. And she asked, what type of dance classes do you teach in Lagos, Nigeria?
Oh, well, in Lagos, Nigeria, we're teaching ballet and liturgical dance. But now we're going to be adding up acrobatic arts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we're going to be,
So you're going
once
to
I
have
finish
like
my
a flipping for God
yeah.
class.
No, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's exciting.
ballet from the primary level to the senior level of ballet, we're doing that very well here. And with help of, I just mentioned some very professional dance teachers who have been helping us to stay abreast of our game. So we're doing very well for ballet. Then liturgical dance, we're doing liturgical dance, Christian dances, which is worship to God, because the academy is actually open to give God glory through our talents. So why not? So we do liturgical dance, and it's very, very important. One of the most important parts of our classes. Yep. And so the new one, acro. Yep, I'm here.
Um, I
Okay.
know that the COVID-19 has impacted many dance studios and forced many dance studios to close down. It's
Yep.
heartbreaking because they don't have students paying to take classes. But on the flip
Okay.
side, there are other studios that are continuing to survive, not with the same income, but continuing to survive. So in these days, I've done a campaign to help my program continue because I'm teaching my dance classes online. So if you would you be interested in receiving donations from other organizations that want to help your students continue having these classes, when you need new ballet bars, maybe ballet slippers, or food to have little parties with them. I know that I've sent a little bit of money to help have like a pizza party with your students because that's something extremely special. Would you be interested in that?
Sorry, can you recap again because I'm trying to listen.
Yeah. So,
Come on, can you just
oh,
come
there is
again?
something. Yeah. Would you be interested in receiving some type of support to help with your program? And if so, what are your program needs right now? Because it looks like because of COVID-19, your program hasn't suffered because you were already financially very tight and good because of the socioeconomic situation there. But if there's a way for others to help, would you be interested? And what are the program needs for you right now?
I've, okay, my program needs basically what we need is just basically the kids just need finance because if they can be able to go to school, some of them that need to go to school can be able to get to school. Then for the academy to be sustained, get food for them when they come for practice, give their parents some money to, help them to get better. When you support the parents, they feel very loved and they feel that, oh wow, this dance is actually giving so many things to us. So why don't we just, help them, allow my kids to keep on going. So, it's a way to actually help the parents also. So the kids actually need to go back to school and the academy needs to be sustained, because we don't charge them. So sometimes we just need to look for money to take them from one spot to the other to, sometimes actually take them to fun centers where they can actually just have fun, just sightsee outside of the area because we live very, very far inside. So like it's just like staying across the river and you have to come all the way to the city where you see a lot of people. So that's how it is. So we need finance.
Okay.
Finance is actually a major thing that kids might actually need for them to continue going. Yep.
Okay, so I wrote that down here if anyone wants to check it out. And also, I know that there's a lot of other dance studios around the world who, in Nigeria as well, who might want to get involved with master's classes that are online. So how do you suggest a way for them to find those classes online? Just looking on Instagram and writing to teachers, or how do you suggest that?
Okay, that's actually a very, very good question to ask. Like for Nigerians who might want to actually go for a master class, who want to sign up for master classes, the best way to do it is to write to teachers who they actually of good standard abroad. They can actually just write to them, please, we need to be helped. Obviously, because to be very sincere, Nigeria, ballet is not strong yet. Dance education isn't very strong yet. So we're actually one of the very few people in Nigeria who teach ballet up to point level. So you don't really find that there are about just two schools who teach classical ballet to standard level with syllabus and all of that. So if at all they want to get to that level in ballet, they have to write up to teachers, and I'm sure they'll be willing to help them. Yes, then write it up to them, check them on the internet, and I'm sure, of course, they'll be able to help them. And I can be able to give them some links also to some teachers who have helped us.
Yes.
Let them write to me,
Okay.
and help them out too.
Sounds
Sure.
great. I'm so excited. So basically, we have two sides of things. One, if you are in a situation where you have any extra support, you can contact Daniel directly from the Leap of Dance Academy. That's the oh, English. What is cuenta? I forgot the word in English. Account.
Okay.
That's the account name, Leap of Dance Academy, and you can contact him if you'd like to make a donation to support feeding his dance students and also helping them to continue what they do. And then on the other side, if you are from a developing country and you're looking to use this time to better your dance experience, you can reach Daniel as well, and he'll give you links to the dance programs that are giving online classes. And I'm sure that people who've helped his studio would like to also share that, especially if they uploaded the class somewhere. They can send it to you, and you can use it with your students to use this time as a time to better your technique as far as ballet and dance and things like that.
Sure, sure. Now, that's actually a question over there. Someone's actually questioned, say, how does Team Trivers, how also do we put lesson plans online together for the students easily? I mean, that also will not cost him so much because, like Daniel said, we won't charge the parents for the tips we already give. I don't know.
Good question.
So what do you think? Okay, could you just answer that, please?
I can answer, and you can also answer.
Okay, sure. You can start pressing. I'm going to reciprocate here.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's really interesting because on Instagram Live itself, a lot of professional dancers are giving free classes. Tyler Peck is one. I'll write her in here so you can check it out. Tyler, I think it's spelled this way, Tyler Peck. She is a principal with the New York City Ballet. She gives free dance classes every day of the week at, I believe it's 10 a.m. I think it's 10 a.m. Central Time. Just check her online. And then also, there's so many programs and conventions that are being held online. You honestly, if you are coming from a situation that is where your students are mostly on scholarship, contact the convention, tell them your situation, and ask if you could participate at no charge. And that might come to fruition. I've done it because my students don't come from situations of money, and the students here who do come from middle or upper class, they definitely cannot afford dance conventions or dance classes in the United States. Like, no one's going to pay $10 for one dance class here because that's just way too much money. $10 is like you can eat an entire day with $10, and no one's going to spend that on a dance class. So, yeah, and then also for online dance class structure, if anyone would like, I have all of my dance classes. Oh, Hannah from Louisiana, I think you're from I forgot. Hannah, she's one of my ballet sponsors for one of my kids here. She says there's also YouTube classes from the Dutch National Ballet, which are accessible. And also, if anyone wants to check out my classes, I do dance classes on my YouTube channel, which is also Transformation Ballet, and you can see it there and take notes for dance class structure. I usually do stretch, bar, and center. And one day I'll do adagio, the other day I'll do petit allegro. But because kids are in houses where small spaces, it looks very different. They can't dance full out. So you have to take that into consideration and basically do your best. Okay, so your turn, Daniel. What do you think?
Okay, now she was asking how also do we put lessons plan online together for the students easily? I mean, that also will not consume so much because like Daniel said, we don't charge the parents for tips we already give. Okay, now what I can suggest is that for my school, like Leap of Dance Academy, I know that most of our students here can't afford data because they all don't even have a phone. So what I do was I brought them together, like they all come to my house for lessons. So now how do you do that now is that I think you can actually get the numbers of your parents, Team Trivia, get them the numbers of your parents and probably WhatsApp it to them or give a call through to them or write it up. That'll be easier for you to get online messages for them. For us here, what is working for us is that our academy runs a forward integration program, meaning that most of our students live within the community. So it is easier for us to get them during classes. So we don't need to like start going back to like backward integration where we need to start calling them, spending money on data, or say, oh, you need to be here or something. What we just need to do is that they live around, or it's just a walk down to the house. Hello, we have classes today. They release the parent, they release the kids for them to come for classes. So that's what we do. So it's easier for us that way than putting it online because there is no online here. It's about they just come in, walk down from their houses to the school, and it comes from like that. That's it for us. That's how we do ours. Yep. That's
even another level of separation, actually, because I'm not struggling with parents not being able to fully access data. It's a small percentage. And I've been able to help with that, but I didn't think if parents don't even have the ability to go on YouTube because they don't have a phone that will support a long YouTube video, then I guess you have to find a completely different way. Interesting. Thanks
Yeah,
for sharing that. I never thought of that.
yeah, that's what we do. It's easier for us, and it makes the kids to be committed. When you have kids who do not stay very far from the academy, it makes it easier for the kids to learn. And like in my school, like all my kids are trained equally, meaning that because they live very close. So if you can do a back walkover, every child can do a back walkover. So it's not like this child knows how to do better than the other because they all take classes together. Any studio on a forward integration, it's very good. So I support forward integration, meaning that let your student, probably if your student you can afford it, for us that can afford a proper studio, most of our students live around the area. So our target area is students in the area, in the community. So we don't need to spend more going to get them outside into the school. So that's why it's easier for them to do point work, easier for them to do a lot of other things. They don't live too far from the academy. It's very close. Yep, that's it.
Cool.
So that's it.
Whoa. So it's very interesting because these are definitely not the same type of difficulties that are being seen in the dance community in the United States. And also there are forms of relief and government support as far as food, for example. So just reiterating for people who came in recently, well, in Nigeria, the situation for the Leap of Dance Academy is that their students are all scholarship students. The teachers volunteer, which is Daniel. He's the director and the teacher. He's the volunteer, and the students come for free. And they usually come from situations where they live day to day and don't know what are they going to eat. And if you are interested in supporting them, you can contact Daniel directly at Leap of Dance Academy, or you can contact me, and then I'll give you his contact. And also, looks like there is, because of the situation of the current pandemic, they've actually been able to access more classes. Oop. Oh, I think internet just went out. Well, Daniel's been able to access more classes because of the current pandemic situation and everything online. And so the situation that the rest of the world is going through, it looks like in his area of Nigeria, they usually go through that. So that's very interesting to talk about. I don't know if anyone else has questions. I'm not sure where Daniel went, but if anyone else has questions for me, they can ask it. Let me see. How, in this time of pandemic, do you manage to convince the parents and their kids they're safe since you have to get them? Do you wear masks and sanitize? Do your parents also sign consent forms? In Guatemala, our students do not come to class. All of our classes are on YouTube, and we're not allowed to have any gatherings because the government has prevented it. And in Nigeria, I am not sure about social distancing and things like that, but I've seen that there have been live classes that have taken place and they were not using masks, so I'm not sure what the government is suggesting there. Let's see, and if we don't have any other questions, I think I will say goodbye for our first talk, and thank you everyone who joined in. It has been such a nice experience being able to talk to somebody from a different country, to learn about the different needs in Nigeria during the coronavirus, and also to really understand that what we're going through now is something that people in many countries go through every single day. And if you're able to support organizations, oh, hi from Ghana, hello. Hi from Guatemala. If you're able to support any of these organizations from doing dance, to be able to do their dances and continue, that would be amazing. Let's see, there's another person who has suggested to take her master class. You can check that out. So anyone who is interested, you can take their master class. Just check out all the comments in this Instagram Live, okay? Royal Ballet Dance Academy. When I finish this, I'm going to upload it so you can continue watching, yeah? Also, Daniel, if you want to join in again, you can just request to join in the video, and I'll put you back on. Let's see, I'm going to add you again. Let's see. Any other questions? If not, we will end.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Yep. I guess it was the. Oh, I just see hi from San Jose. Thank you, Miss Linda. Thank you very much. And I saw also Miss Mary from amidst Dance Center. I see you. Hello from Ghana. Oh, Mr. Solomon, so good to hear from you. Okay, now you say something. Someone asked a question. How would you recommend us from Nigeria to come study ballet where you are? How easy is that? Okay, you know we're talking about something like that last year about coming to Guatemala to take trainings. Yep.
Sorry, the
Hello.
chicken was. Oh, I can't. There's a lot of chickens here. I can't hear.
It's here too. Okay, should I ask the question back again? So, okay, so a question was asked. Would you recommend us from Nigeria to study ballet where you are? Okay.
Okay. It's probably going to go on for half an hour like that. Let me move.
Okay.
Okay, maybe here. Nope. There. I'm sorry. The chicken you can hear from everywhere, so I can't really escape it. But, did you answer the question?
No, I haven't answered. No, you know, we were talking about coming to Guatemala to take ballet lessons. Last year wasn't it last year or so? Yeah. So someone is asking if we can actually have a recommendation to come take ballet lessons under your tutelage. How do you see?
Oh, to come to Guatemala. Well, if you guys can figure out, yeah, I would love to have people come and be trained and understand how the studio works, because it's a very unique program. Since my program is not only teaching dance, but I also do other things as well with the kids to strengthen them and to help them grow as children of God. And then also there's the fundraising aspect. So I'm constantly fundraising so that I can sustain this program, because like many of you in developing countries, not enough people want to pay for dance, and or cannot. It's not like they don't want to. Not enough people have the income necessary to pay for dance classes. So there's a lot of fundraising involved in me keeping a sustainable program. And then my goal for the future is to create students who can become dance teachers and have the tools to be able to continue. So yes, definitely just contact me. There would be a lot of fundraising involved because I don't have funds to fly people here because it's very expensive. Let's see what else. Jamie, a ballet teacher from Texas and ex here with us, said she has a dance class for 2 to 5-year-olds, which is 10 minutes long via Facebook Live, and it's Artistic Motion Dance Academy. So if anyone would like to join in on that, you can contact Jamie and her. You can contact me if you'd like to ask for her name. Let's see.
Okay, now
Anything else? What languages? Daniel, what languages do your students speak?
I answered
English.
her already. Yeah.
What language does that sound like? How do you pronounce that? Jaime? Jamie? Jaime.
Yeah, I just said Jamie. That because Miss Jamie asked what language. I just said Jamie. I just said English, Miss Jamie. So like that's Jamie. Like the name is Jamie. So like that's Jamie. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know.
Okay, someone's asking, said, I definitely would love to visit Mr. Dan when this is over to exchange knowledge and learn more. Is that a good idea? After which we are coming to Ghana, Royal Ballet. Is that okay too? Of course, it's fine. You can come to Lagos, Nigeria, where we are. You learn a lot from all our master classes. We have a lot to share, obviously. We have a lot to share from Miss Mary. And finally, we have something to say again. We're having our live acro and tumbling class this week, Saturday, the 1st of May. Woohoo!
Yeah, so attend.
Yeah, amidst Center. Yep. I think it's going to be on Zoom, so I'm going to talk to her if she can actually want to share that. So whoever wants to be part of it should sign up for it, you know. I'll talk to her about it. Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. Do we have any other questions? I know this has been great. We have a lot of questions. Jamie, thanks for asking so many questions. It's really helping engage in the conversation. Let's see.
So I think Mr. Shabak was asking about the government doesn't support dance, something like that. I don't know. The message must have gone all the way up. Kind of actually find it. If you can find it, it was asking about the government doesn't support. Like the government doesn't support. Like you know, sometimes someone was saying that why do I need to write about my kids needing support and all of that? I was like, I don't get any support from anybody. So if I could just put in word out there that whoever wants to help us out should help us out, why not? Because if the government isn't supporting us, no money, nothing, no costume, nothing. It's actually going to be just what I get or what very amazing partners are willing to give, like yourself. So I think what we just need to do is that since the government isn't supporting us for now, write out on your social media pages, on any of the platforms you have, whoever wants to help you, just pray about it, and I know God is going to do something. That's what I do. Just write it out there, and that's just it. You can't actually be waiting for the government to support us, but in the meantime, while waiting for the support, you could just actually just write it and pray about it, and obviously God will do something. Yep.
Yeah, and you know what? You know, Daniel, that's one thing that I really love about your leadership, that you're always sharing how you're continuing on, and not, you don't want to just keep all the knowledge for yourself. And like, we have viewers here from the United States and from Ghana, and you guys can all learn from me in Guatemala and from Daniel in Nigeria how it goes. Like, be humble and pray to God and say, Lord, if this is what you want me to do and you want me to impact these kids positively in this way, help me provide for them. And then it will happen. It really will, because like, God works wonders if God hears the desires of your heart, as it says.
That's true. I keep on telling people to keep on sharing, because the more you share, the more God blesses you, because it's more, like the Bible says, it's more to give. It's better to give than to receive, you know, when you just keep on giving, just keep on giving, because that's what we should do. Just give on. Like what I do for my kids, I keep on giving them. Everything is just available for them to use. So let's just keep on sharing all what we can share to people so that they all can receive the blessing, keep on getting blessed and all of that. So that's it. Yep.
Okay, we have 2 more questions. One, what do the coronavirus cases look like in Nigeria? So how many are there, and how quickly is it spreading? Also, because I know that sometimes your students come together when there's a live class. Like here, my students don't come together. We just hit our first peak, so it's getting close to 300 cases in Guatemala. Can you enlighten us a little more on the cases over there?
Okay, there are some cases in Nigeria, but the thing is that it's not everywhere in Nigeria. Like the part of Lagos where I stay is actually a closed community, so we're pretty safe in our own end. So the kids don't need to get into whatever would cause them danger, because they live very close by. So there is no hand sanitizer, to be very sincere, no hand sanitizer or face mask or that around where we are. So, but we are very fine. We're doing very fine. But the situation is coronavirus, like we've been told, is here, but we're safe where we are. That's the best of knowledge I have. Yeah.
Interesting. So, yeah, that's really interesting. Gosh, I know that here the government is trying to help families, but the way that these families can get access to some government financial support is that they need to have their light bill for the house under their name, 1, and then 2, they need to have a bank account, a checking bank account. But as you probably very well know, in Nigeria, if you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a bank account, because you don't have money to put in a bank account. And then also, if you don't have a house that's yours, like if you're renting, or if you made a house that's illegally made, you won't have a light bill under your name, because you're probably taking light from somebody else, and then everyone's like sharing the light bill, or not paying the light bill because they're like stealing it or borrowing it from other people. So
exactly.
Yeah, so it's like infrastructural difficulties that don't allow people to receive government support if it's made available, just because of how underdeveloped or like the infrastructure is, or the way to reach out to people.
So that's how it is. Someone's asking a question, said, I have some ballet song composed and ballet stories to aid teaching. How do I get that legalized and approved in Nigeria? Also, Mr. Dan, how is ABTN supporting academies that need help? Well, the ABTN is the Association of Ballet Teachers in Nigeria. We're going to actually discuss that part by calling the ABTN teacher to actually come into that aid. I'm going to screenshot this part and send that to her so that she can actually get that question answered. Like for the songs you have to get it composed, we have to have songs licensing is actually expensive. I don't know, because it has to be legally approved, and you know, they call it a copyright of what is called to prevent plagiarism, something like that. Like so that your
Yeah.
songs can be, you know, you can actually do that. But it's actually expensive. How do you get that legalized?
Yeah.
You can do it. For, it's expensive. Get a lawyer to back you up on that part. But it's expensive to go into. I don't know. We are not doing that. What like, or in my academy, what we do is that we get licensed songs to play on our classes. Like we got of music from the UK. That's from
Yeah.
Miss K. Yeah, Miss Kate sent us like a whole lot of ballet songs, So some of the songs we use in our academy are licensed songs by approved teachers who could share that
Yeah.
for us. You know, so that's how it is. Yep. So it's
Okay,
expensive
sorry.
to get.
My computer, which I was using, to teach, is running low on battery, and I don't want the YouTube feed to stop. So,
Oh.
oh man, just like back and forth, electricity and cable extensions. Okay.
Oh, it's actually very interesting. I'm so very grateful to everyone who has actually showed up here. Thank you very much. Oh my God, I'm just reading everyone's comments. You guys are the best of the best of the best of the best. I'm sorry for my typos. God bless you guys so much. I'm trying to see if I can get some messages over here. I'm reading. We happy to receive it. So how's Guatemala doing today? Is it cold or it's just normal?
Oh, well, I'll show you how Guatemala looks like. So this is Guatemala. I live in the mountain region. So
Wow.
there's mountains, there's a lot of tropical types of fruits. There's like a papaya tree right here, and mango, and another mountain over there. I actually live by a lake. Here there is the beach area and then the mountainous area. So I live in a volcano range. Hopefully it doesn't explode. There was a volcano that did explode last year, and it killed a lot of people. So just
Oh
praying for
my.
safety. But
We have
we're doing well. A lot of people are staying home. So dance for a lot of the kids via YouTube is something that gives them hope and joy. And then I also have daily mini Bible verses and little challenges of the day where the kids can make things from home. Today it's writing a poem and then dancing to your poem. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I saw I wanted to ask a question like how you know the COVID-19 is actually it's such a pain like because most studios are closed down. So excuse me, like I'm going to like have a feeling like how would the kids be able to when the kids come back, wouldn't the teachers be starting from the beginning again because the bodies might probably have gone back to where you know eating food like getting no supervision about what you know that kind of how am I going to come back because I don't understand because I remember one time we traveled in 2018 and coming back to Lagos, we were starting all over because the kids had like a month of no training. So you can imagine, I can imagine how many, so it's going to be so difficult. How are people going to be coping with this? Because I just hope that the online classes will help a lot because it takes a lot of dedication and commitment to just stay committed to the process, you know. It's hard. It's hard.
A very good question. I know one thing that in developed countries they're doing, and even here in Guatemala, in areas of where they have more money, they're doing Zoom classes, so the teacher can see the students when they're dancing and correct them, but they're still not going. It's still not going to be the same. In my situation, I cannot do that because students don't have the technology to be able to do a Zoom call in which I could actually see them because of the quality of camera or phone that they might have. And not everyone might even have a smartphone, so that's not possible. But if they can borrow a phone from somebody else and watch YouTube, they get some type of training. But it's definitely true. They're going to lose all the technique, and no one should go this many months without dance classes, and I think it's going to be many months. So coming back is definitely to be like starting from the beginning. And not only that, but one thing that I have done is asked moms to send me videos of students doing particular combinations, and in hopes that I can see how they're doing and correct them, and then they go back and forth and send me videos. But it's difficult also if you can't afford enough data to be constantly sending videos to your dance teacher. And so the past 2 weeks, I've been trying to get a video of all my students doing a combination of rond de jambe so I can see and make sure they're doing their rotation and their posture and their epama with the head and the shoulders and the hands, but it's very difficult, definitely.
It is very difficult because that's why it's very good to have a life teacher. That is a very very important part of teaching any student because ballet has to do with you correcting postures, and sometimes you don't need to just be verbal. You need to actually touch the student, like, okay, this is how you should put your hands, your body posture, your head, your neck. Such kind of things can actually help this kid to know better than just leaving them online. So I just hope that every teacher and all students should keep on practicing with or without supervision. Because why am I saying that? Because it takes you to do a lot of things, because the teacher might try all the best they can to do what they can help you to do, but you need to actually be willing. It has to come from the student, so to be willing to actually take all the lessons, because if you don't take the lessons, even if you're training from the best teacher, you won't even go anywhere. So the students at home to keep on stretching, keep on learning, don't stop learning, because you're going to get better. That's it. Yeah. Someone is asking a question now.
This one's from Hannah, and she's a ballet godmother, another one with us. She's asking about our season. So what does our season look like, and are we hoping to resume after the COVID season?
For me? Okay. Like for my season, oh my God, we are just working whatever it comes up with. Just keep on training and keep on training, keep on training. We were supposed to go to Egypt this year. I told you about that. Yeah. But because of COVID-19, we canceled the trip because obviously it's a whole lot in Egypt, so we couldn't actually go because there's some things we're working on, and so the season has been canceled for the foreign trip. So we're still in Lagos, Nigeria, trying to just keep on with classes, master classes, and just keep on learning, and obviously keep on learning so that when we hope to travel, we'll be able to do better. Yep.
Yeah, and I think also it looks different for us because our season is based around our schedule, since we're the only teachers at the studio, except when we have a guest teacher or something special that's extra. So I guess the season can always just look like whatever we create it to be. Because I know for me, I have 2 semesters, because here there are 2 school systems. There are the children who go to private schools who have 1 system, and then the children who go to the public schools. And so they actually are on completely different summer breaks. So I have 2 breaks during the year. One is during one of the summer breaks, and the other one's during the other summer break. And so it's like 1 month and 1 month. Oop, I think it is. Hello. Oop. Okay, are there any other questions? I wanted to make, this ended up being a lot longer than I thought, but it's great because I love to be able to share, and I'm gonna have Daniel hop back on this call. There we go. Okay, let's bring him back in. Technology difficulties, people. Technology difficulties. And so I think we're gonna. Hi, welcome back.
I guess the network is actually just fluctuating. It's it's not already here, like it's so dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I just got one of my very amazing friends, Helena Williams. Oh my God, she's been so amazing. Addison Grace, to you. Hello. How are you? She's actually a very, very good friend of us. She's a wonderful person. Hello, Miss Williams, Miss Thelma. Thank you very much. She's a very good supporter. She's always keeping in touch. She's a very amazing person. Shout out to you in United States, Virgin Island. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, well, if no one has any more questions for Daniel in Nigeria or me here in Guatemala, I think we're going to finish this call because I do need to teach my afternoon classes and have lunch. So.
Wow. Okay. It's night time already, so I guess I'm going to just go back and digest everything that just happened today.
Ooh, it's about to close. There's 15 minutes
Yeah.
before we get kicked off. So